Thank you for joining us this morning for the Edelman annual budget event.
If all budgets are theatre, all Osborne budgets are politics. And I think the politics around his budget, frankly, is kind of consolidating support for the independence referendum and frankly, the leadership prospects of one George Osborne.
A good budget all round, it's steady as she goes, but it's helping the people who need help. Apart from the stuff on Europe, which is nonsense, and I'm happy to go into later if anyone's interested.
There's a case for Britain leaving the European Union. I don't think it's fundamentally a business case. I think it's fundamentally about sovereignty. My organisation feels by 2 to 1 that it's important to stay within the European Union.
Membership of the UK has increased UK's openness to trade and investment. No, it hasn't. It has brought us into a customs union with walls around it that has made it harder for us to deal with the rest of the world.
The Labour Party is campaigning for us to stay in Europe. I'm sorry to say there will be Labour voters who will see voting against Europe. They'll see it as a free hit against Cameron.
We can't keep spending £5 for every 4 that comes in, and he's the first Chancellor who's really had a go at that.
Anyone who's worked in the city, which is my background since the early 1990s, knows that forecasts are wrong. These are worse than weather forecasts. So to criticise the Chancellor for missing forecasts is like complaining about the captain of a ship when there's a storm. It's simply not something he is in command of.
He had to divert attention from what were a set of really quite difficult forecasts in the red box. You know, it's no coincidence that I think virtually every paper in Fleet Street had the same sort of headline about him sugaring the pill.
As a society, we have a responsibility for children. Children aren't able to make choices in this way. So in a way, we as a society are stepping in and saying, levels of childhood obesity are quite frightening, and all the evidence is we bring in the sugar tax, we will bring down the consumption of sugar, and that has to be a good thing.
For the government to put a £500 million tax on the poorest in society is not, in my view, the way governments ought to act.
It's basically a sort of a sugar rush budget. You know, you've got this instant hit of the reasonably positive headlines. Who could possibly object to a budget for the next generation? The danger for George Osborne, and we've seen this before, particularly in the 2012 omnishambles budget, is there are measures in there which could potentially unravel, and that will be disastrous for his reputation and also for the prospects of winning the referendum.